Welcome, beloved anointed ones. You have walked a long road, and you know it better than anyone. You felt the gravel cutting your soles when nobody else noticed the dust on your shoes. You wiped tears in silence because you believed that revealing them would make people question your strength. You kept pushing, one dawn after another, telling yourself the sunrise had to mean something more than another day of survival. And it does. Every breath you fought for was counted. Every tremor in your voice was heard. Every late-night whisper that began with, "God, are you there?" was received. You were never talking to an empty room. You were never shouting into a void. Listen carefully now. You are seen. You are remembered. You are chosen for reasons that stretch further than your own timeline and rise higher than your own ambitions. That truth is not motivational fluff. It is a firm declaration, solid as bedrock. I repeat it, so there is no doubt left hanging in the air. You are chosen. Chosen does not mean flawless. Chosen means noticed, entrusted, and equipped, even while trembling. I know how many nights you scrolled through endless updates, watching everyone else highlight victories, while you hid your battles behind a polite emoji. I know the exact morning when you almost deleted the dream, because the download bar of life felt forever stuck at 1%. I know the hour you forced a smile during a work call, switching tabs between tasks and tears. While others chased applause, you chased purpose. While the world posted snapshots of ease, you stockpiled silent victories nobody applauded. That difference is what makes you mine. You learned to navigate storms with a cracked compass, and somehow still charted straight lines toward hope. Yes, you got lost. Chosen ones get lost more often because their routes are unpaved. But even when you wandered, you kept a pulse on true north. I just want to honor something bigger than myself. That whisper rose above the static of fear, and I heard it every time. Tonight, hear me back. Lay your head down. No heroic stance required. No overnight project to prove your worth. Rest. Your assignment is not slipping through your fingers if you close your eyes. The universe will not collapse because you log off. The purpose I seeded in you has roots deeper than exhaustion and branches stronger than anxiety. Let them hold you. Remember the battery icon on your phone turning red just when you needed directions? You learned the urgency of finding a charger? Your soul shows similar warnings. Fatigue flashes, patience dips, focus flickers. You plug into music, memes, maybe even caffeine. Those give minutes of relief, not hours of renewal. Tonight, plug into me. Slide into the silence where I speak loudest. One slow inhale. Feel how the lungs expand without a single instruction from you. That is my tenderness filling you without negotiation. One slow exhale. Release the backlog of self-doubt, every unsent message, every unfinished plan, every unresolved wound. They are safe in my keeping. Your timeline highlights the valleys, yet I catalog the summits. You remember the rejection letter. I remember the persistence it activated. You recall the friendship that ghosted. I recall the loyalty you kept offering others anyway. You replay the moment you almost quit. I replay the second you chose to stay one more day. While you judge yourself by output, I measured you by endurance. Strength is not the absence of weakness. It is loyalty to the path, even while limping. You think nobody noticed that limp. But I, the one who knit muscle and bone, recognized it instantly, not as failure, as evidence. Evidence that you keep moving when excuses would be easier. Evidence that you still hold doors open for strangers while your own heart aches for kindness. Evidence that you forgive people's thoughtless words, even when yours get stuck behind your teeth. Chosen status is proven in those small, untelevised acts that echo louder in eternity than the biggest viral post ever could. So let's be practical. You want numbers? Count hours of sleep gained tonight instead of likes received. You want metrics? Measure peace per heartbeat instead of followers per feed refresh. You want progress? Track how often you choose grace over gossip, truth over performance, presence over distraction. Those are the KPIs that count in my kingdom. Pause and look back 6 months. Remember the question that haunted you. Am I even built for this? 6 months later, you are still here, built enough to be breathing, built enough to be listening right now. That is empirical proof. You do not need permission slips from people who never sweat through your nights. You already have confirmation from the one who mapped your days before your first cry met air. Let this sink in deeper. You worried I only noted your victories. In truth, I cataloged your tears in detail. I know which pillowcases carry the watermark of disappointment and which journals hide pen marks so angry they rip the page. And I am proud of a warrior who fights internal battles with external courtesy. Proud of a soul that walks into crowded rooms, feeling invisible, yet chooses to brighten them anyway. Proud of the quiet nod you give yourself in the mirror every morning, acknowledging that survival is its own miracle. Tonight, Miracle Maker, cease striving. Your mind may still race, rehearsing future confrontations, planning comebacks nobody asked for. Turn the volume down. Close the multiple windows you keep open just in case. Powering down is not quitting, it is stewardship of endurance. When your laptop hibernates, it protects its core so it can reboot stronger. You deserve the same courtesy you afford your devices. Think of tomorrow as a refresh session. Tabs reopen, yes, but with memory freed. Projects will load faster, because you allowed overnight updates to install. That is what rest achieves. Silent updates of courage, patches for vulnerabilities, memory expansion for creativity. Your task list will still exist, yet fatigue will not be the operating system. Hope will. Some friends may not understand your need to unplug. That's fine. They were not awake for your 3 a.m. self-counsel sessions. They did not see you answer emails through tears. They do not know how heavy a purpose can feel when it settles on human shoulders. Purpose is titanium, light enough to carry, strong enough to shape destiny, but it requires rest to stay balanced. So breathe. Feel the mattress hold a weight you tried to carry alone. Feel eyelids grow warm like curtains closing on a stage after a standing ovation you could not hear. My applause is silent thunder. Felt more than heard, steady as heartbeat, constant as gravity. Let it cradle you. And when sleep comes, do not resist with scrolling. You already have the message. You already carry the approval. You already walk with a seal of being chosen. Yes, others sought shortcuts. You built character. Yes, others broadcast triumphs. You cultivated resilience. Yes, others moved on quickly. You endured slowly. Slow wins are still wins. Tomorrow, rise lighter. Look at your reflection and say, I held on, and that is heroic. Let the day unfold without the soundtrack of comparison. While others sprint to trends, you will walk in truth. While markets shift, your mission stays anchored. While chatter fills the airwaves, your voice will speak life. And if setbacks revisit, remember tonight. Remember how stillness felt after weeks of internal earthquakes. Remember how divine tenderness tucked you in with words sharper than any sword yet softer than dawn light. I never overlook effort. I never consider tears insignificant. I never confuse your silence with surrender. Here's the promise. The struggle you carried into today will end tonight. Not because problems evaporate, but because their power over you dissolves in my presence. Rest is not escape. It is transfer of weight from your shoulders to mine. Sleep is not procrastination, it is trust. You trust that I am awake so you do not have to be. Now close your eyes. Exhale the tension hiding in your jaw, your neck, your gut. Feel peace settle like a weighted blanket, heavy enough to still anxious limbs, gentle enough to let dreams dance. In the morning, courage will greet you before coffee. Faith will sit at the edge of your bed, ready to walk beside you. Strength will rise from the ashes of fatigue, unashamed of yesterday's scars. You asked if I noticed your endurance. I engraved it on the palms that formed galaxies. You wondered if your strength mattered. It anchors miracles yet to unfold. You feared you were alone. I was the breath in your lungs, the pulse in your veins, the idea that refused to die. Now, beloved chosen one, rest. Let my tenderness be the lullaby. Let my promise be the security code. Lay down every weapon of self-defense, and let night heal what day bruised. And when dawn breaks, step out not as a survivor of another war, but as an ambassador of the peace you embrace tonight. This is your moment to shut the door and worry. Open the window to grace and simply sleep. Because I, your God, watched every lonely second, counted every trembling victory, and declare with unwavering certainty, your fight is finished for now. Rest and let tomorrow witness what a rejuvenated chosen one can accomplish.